Attention, you are about to hear the captivating voice of an icon in the movie industry. You have heard him and seen him in performances in over 140 films. He's met and influenced many world leaders, and now he's about to tell you how to unite the America he loves.
That job's filled.
Unique. Brilliant. And unpredictable. Robert Davi is a Renaissance man who writes, directs, sings, and does it all with excellence.
Yeah, it's okay. We're all very impressed, but let's get on with it now.
Robert Davi believes he should use his voice to both repay and help unite America, the America that made his dreams come true.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Robert Davi Show.
Good day, my dear friends, wherever you are, wherever you're listening from. You can find me on many different platforms. This one in particular. You driving in your car? Or you sitting on the toilet? How about maybe you're in the kitchen listening on some device? Or perhaps you're watching on some recorded piece of hardware. I had a panic today. I think I lost my computer. I left my computer in the car, having I had a breakfast with a close friend of mine, Jay Hoffman. And you know, in the process of getting there and rushing over to the restaurant to meet him, we met at Brent's Deli over in the valley here. Great deli. I left my computer bag in the car. I think I locked the car. I may not have. But then when I went to the car to get the computer to bring it into the station here, the computer was missing from the bag. So now I'm very nervous about that, and worried. I called my wife to see if I left it on the kitchen table, so I'm awaiting this. But anyway, Jay was just in New York, and he told me, guess what? The computer was home. My wife has it. Yes, thank God. Okay, so that was my in the excitement of meeting Jay and catching up with him. I left the computer on the kitchen table. So anyway, she wants me to have him come in. So I'm texting, but he can't because he's the engineer of the show. So maybe Mike Gary can meet my wife outside when she comes and bring my computer in. Anyway. Jay is doing a play. They have a play in New York. What's the name of this play, Jay?
Trial on the Potomac.
Trial on the Potomac. How great is that? Trial on the Potomac. And if you're in the New York area, it's playing at the St. Clements Theater for about a month. And Rich Little is playing Nixon. I did not. Anyway, so it's a play that asks the question, what if Nixon didn't resign? And it's quite revealing in its content. And what's also interesting is that, and the fear of it for the left, is it echoes what happened with Donald Trump. It's so strange in terms of history because we know what the left has done to demonize Trump. You know, and let me just tell you guys in California, if you're listening, and I got to bring it up every day, I don't know if it's John Cox you're voting for. I'm doing John Cox's ads or Larry Elder's, but the most important thing is get rid of Gavin Newsom and the Pelosi, Newsom, Getty, Brown, D'Alessandro mafia of California that have been destroying the state, destroying it. And I spoke about it the other day of Gavin Newsom's. He had some kind of epileptic fit on camera. Because of the, maybe he's panicking, maybe not. But it showed you how entitled he is. And you think about entitlement of people with money that are wealthy like that. You know, I was talking to my friend, Jay, and we talked about billionaires. How many happy billionaires are there? They worry about where their plane is. What time is the plane? What time is their private plane? Who's it picking up? Where's it? What house is it going to? And this is the French Laundry guy, Gavin Newsom. Do you think you in the black community he really cares? Does he really have a knowledge of it? Or is it what the left does? The left co-opts issues, and they get useful idiots to promote their issues. And these useful idiots then go out into the media, and they then promote an agenda without realizing the ramifications and how it's destroying America. You know, we had one guy standing up for America in the 80s, in the 1940s actually, was Ronald Reagan. Reagan stood up for America. He had the historical authority and the understanding of what was happening in the country. He changed the course of this nation. This is Ronald Reagan, my dear friends. And we don't have this historical reference right now in politics. There's no Mitch McConnell. There's no governor. Ron DeSantis, and some others, and of course Donald Trump. But the danger is we need to have the historical reference. That's why I'm starting an organization, Parents United for Education. It's one of the most important, I think, things we can do to combat this. Because the day Trump won the election, I wrote an article for Breitbart, and I said to him that he had to bring back Reagan's informed patriotism. Reagan's fear, the last thing he said to you, to the American people, was American values are going to be diminished. And unless we grab hold of education, unless we grab hold of around the kitchen table, and we start to educate our children about an informed American patriotism, we will lose everything. And guess what, my dear friends? We're about to lose it all. And in the 40s, Reagan was hailed as a one-man battalion, a one-man wrecking crew, who defeated and exposed communism in America. Now, I've tweeted the last several days about certain things about the corrupt corpse, or the rotten corpse of Schumer, and the Cuomolini affair, how Hollywood fawned over Cuomolini and the Cuomolinis. They just were worshiping at his feet when he got that little Emmy nomination. They were so happy, applauding. And even Chelsea Handler wanted to be his boyfriend, fantasizing about it. The same thrill up the leg everyone got with President Obama. You know what that thrill up the leg turns into? Ripping your heart out. Ripping the heart out of the nation. And I say this, I say that the GOP stinks. The GOP stinks. There are very few people worthy of being in that position. And the whole Senate and Congress are comrades. They're commissars. We're more like the Soviet Union than we are America. You had people at one point that understood what America stood for. Now, we have the educated, indoctrinated lawyer class that's taken over politics. That equivocating lawyer class that stinks, that has just theoretical knowledge of their own. It's shocking to me. It really is. I'm just a blue-collar actor. You know, I'm just a blue-collar guy. I come from that family that most of you come from. Not an elitist. You know, and I have my elite friends in Hollywood that make statements. I'm for whatever is your freedom. I took the vaccine. I mask up. I'm cautious. I'm washing my hands. I encourage my family members. I'm not going to put you down for not doing it. But especially since we don't know the information we're getting. I know the information I'm getting. I know people that have died continually. People that are getting tremendous, irreparable damage to their lungs because of COVID. That's something you have to weigh as you're driving around, thinking, going to events. It's scary. It's scary. And no one talked about China. Do you see them in Congress wondering? No one. Why? Think about this. It's not Russian collusion. It's not Donald Trump. They got Donald Trump out of office. But how come no one's really calling for an investigation into China or even reparations? Not one of them. I don't see Mitch McConnell going, why aren't we finding out what happened with the Wuhan virus. You know, they had these investigations. They have these perfunctory things that then are debunked and not reported by CNN and the rest of the left-wing media that's in tank for the socialist Marxists. We are besieged by subversives who are not inhibited by traditional moral constraints and are willing to practice deceit and even violence to further their ideological cause. That's what we have. You saw that in the riots. Continued. You have to wake up. You have to really start taking control. You have to take responsibility for what's happened to this nation. We've been asleep. It's what Gorbachev said when he took over the Presidio. Yeah, he took over the Presidio. The Presidio was a building that Nancy Pelosi and a group of people, which was one of our esteemed bases, and they took that and had a whatever they call some kind of partnership. And the first tenant at the Presidio was, guess who? Gorbachev. And that's where Agenda 21 was born, at the Presidio. And Gorbachev, when we think about what happened, you know, Reagan defeating everything. Think about it. Reagan, 1988. George Bush won. And what's his campaign slogan? A kindler, gentler nation. That's what he ran on. After seeing what strength, peace through strength, did with Reagan. His right hand, Reagan's right hand, runs through a kindler, gentler nation, saying that Reagan was what? Davi, stay tuned.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1,800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. That's 800-378-3212.
Robert Davi.
You know, I'm the one delivering the message, not receiving it. That's right, delivering the message. So just let me tell you, my dear friends, how important it is. So we have this crisis in America. And we have people like Mitch McConnell. What does he remind me of, McConnell? For years I have been unimpressed with Mitch McConnell. And you know, you talk about the infrastructure bill. And people on Twitter and other places are talking about, hey, I think there was an actress, I won't mention her name, singer, was very happy about this infrastructure bill. And I had mentioned that it was a socialist, socialism. And you know what she said to me? It was interesting. She's, not her, but people that they were, of course, mocking my take on this infrastructure bill, because just a small portion is infrastructure. The rest is a socialistic, the Green New Deal. It's the beginning of that, the opening of that. But Mitch McConnell, and they were saying, well, at least Biden got the infrastructure deal done. Well, do you know who blocked Donald Trump's infrastructure deal, which was a real infrastructure deal? Do you know who blocked it? Guess who? Mitch McConnell. I'm not passing that. It was dead in the water. They resented Donald Trump. They had to deal with him because of the mandate that happened in the election and the surprise. But the political class, the ruling class, so to speak, loathed him, secretly loathed him. And sadly, what Donald Trump did incorrectly was getting rid of loyalists. Donald Trump, and I said this on one of the Fox News shows, I said that they are out to peck his eyes out. And I said this in 2016, the beginning of his tenure, and that he needed a front line of a certain kind of bird that would be able to protect him so the eagle could fly high, because he's going to be attacked. Now, I forget what bird I referenced. I have to look that up again. Nick, look up a bird that will attack an eagle. Find out the bird that can bring down an eagle. We need falcons that can attack the hawks that were ready to pluck out the eyes of the eagle. I think that's what I referenced. And it's frightening. Adult loons can kill an eagle? Yeah. So the loons, interesting name, will kill an eagle. And we need falcons to kill the loons.
The chicks are perfect prey for eagles, though.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole bunch of different things. But the importance of this, or at least the metaphor of it, was unless you have a front line of defense, you're doomed, especially in D.C. And he did not have a front line of defense. And whatever your political persuasion is, my dear friends, you have to look at California and the nation. And I don't know why, like, my DNA is independent. I had family members who were Kennedy Democrats and Nixon Republicans and conservatives and independents, and we discussed it all. And there seems to be the lack of being able to discuss ideas. We take a line in the sand and we don't cross it. We don't even want to discuss the line in the sand. And really look at the truth of it all. How is it that we can pass an infrastructure bill that's so destructive? You know, President Obama said, I wanted to fundamentally change America. Did he not? Chirps. Silence. There's nothing there. Nothing. That's what we hear from the Senate on the infrastructure bill in Congress. We don't hear anything. There's no music in their souls. Do you understand? Music lifts you. But these politicians have no music in their souls. They're just sucking the blood dry out of the American people. The working class. More money has been made by the rich and powerful. Yeah, the ones that are waiting for their planes or keeping track of where their houses are. While you're struggling to pay your rent or your mortgage. The left is letting people walk out of stores with $1,000 worth of merchandise and not give them reparation or reprimanding them. And we're letting it happen in California. Gavin Newsom is. Do you think he's a friend to law enforcement? Oh, trust me, if it came into Bel Air, if the homeless started camping out in the mansions in Bel Air or Silicon Valley, it would be a different story. They'd make a phone call to the politicians and they'd be cleaned out in a week. But that's not the case, you see. You don't have that power. They don't care about you because you're not a donor. The almighty dollar, money, not morality, is the principal commerce of civilized nations. George Bush Sr. ran on, shockingly, a kindler, gentler nation. What is that saying about what Ronald Reagan did? You see, the same kind of thing here happened with Trump. The same kind of attack on this play that I was told today about if Nixon didn't resign. And there's a moment in this play where two of the major people in this Watergate event said, if this goes to trial, we have no proof. Reminiscent of something. They plucked out Trump's eyes from the beginning. You don't believe there's communist forces, Marxist forces in America? I'm sorry for you. People make fun of that when I bring it up. I'm no Joe McCarthy, no was meant to be, no House Un-American activities. I'm just telling you plain and simple what's happening in our country, judging from the politicians that are running it right now. There's a mainstream embrace of cultural Marxism sweeping America, which began to take root in the 1930s. It was culture, the arts, education that Marx and dictator Vladimir Lenin understood as the ways to infect minds and hearts. So what did they do? They substituted the Judeo-Christian religious values, the betterment of self, with a new, godless religion. A religion of the collective that was manipulated by agitprop, much like how Bernie Sanders has co-opted whole swaths of the celebrity class and the youth. You tell me, my dear friends. You tell me what happened. Davi, more in a moment.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Tired of lockdown? Let the reconnect begin. You belong here. Welcome home to the magic of Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California. Check out our new spacious outdoor dining al fresco. Romantic, market lights. It looks like a movie set. Dine under the stars and enjoy our tasty Angelo's and Vinci's pizza, pasta, seafood, chicken, salad dinners, and more. In the cool of the evening, come enjoy our award-winning menu, new wine list, specialty cocktails like our peach Bellini martini, appetizers, and more. Angelo's and Vinci's now open every day from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. for relaxing outdoor dining. No reservations needed. Just come on in for delicious Italian food. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton. Call 714-879-4022. We're going to need a lot of pasta to get through this year. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton today.
Welcome back, Las Vegas, to the showroom at South Point, featuring the Righteous Brothers with Bill Medley and Bucky Hurd. Back by popular demand, August 17th to the 19th. Blue-Eyed Soul once again. Limited engagements, tickets only $39. Available at the box office, online at southpointcasino.com or charged by phone, 702-797-8055. Welcome back, Las Vegas, to the showroom at South Point.
All right, is that a Q2 or a Q3 expense?
Dwayne's CPA went MIA.
Nah.
To keep his books and his sanity, he needs to find a replacement, ASAP.
Hey, Johnny, have you ever heard of a fungible good?
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Robert Davi Show.
I'm Dwayne Robinson, LAPD. I'm in charge here.
Not anymore. So anyway, as I was saying, and I have to hone this in because California can change America. Gavin Newsom should be recalled, and we should either put in John Cox or whoever you feel is best. Larry Elder. But we got to get rid of Gavin Newsom. I happen to like John Cox. He's an accountant. I think fiscally responsibility. I like both men, I have to say. And Larry Elder's an old friend of mine. But John Cox, I've been doing his ad. And he did very well at the debate. So one of those two men must win. Not too crazy about the rest of the platform. But it's imperative to get rid of Gavin. So what happened? What happened in terms of this? And it's astounding to me. The mainstream embrace of cultural Marxism we see sweeping America today took root in the 1930s. And it was Marx and Russian dictator Lenin who understood how to infect the minds and hearts. This happened for several reasons. And it still drives a lot of Hollywood elite. In an interview, actor Sterling Hayden tells of his journey into communism. He says it was predicated on a kind of guilt. Now, Sterling Hayden was the actor in The Godfather. He played the police captain who punches Al Pacino. And he was considered, and he's the one that said Ronald Reagan was a one-man wrecking crew of the Communist Party in America. Now, catch this. He says it was predicated on a kind of guilt. The guilt of making so much money and a feeling he wanted to do something for the world. And the vehicle for this was the anti-fascist movement organized by the Communist Party and workers of the world. Now, you got to realize, in the 1940s, there was a struggle between two unions. And you have to have this historical reference point. Not many people talk about it. I've been writing about it for decades on Breitbart and speaking about it. But it's not enough. That's why I want Parents United for Education, so we can understand what's happened, so we can frame, get rid of the teachers' unions, get rid of school boards that are purposely filled with left-wing propagandists. So the struggle between two unions, and this is, there was the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, IATSE, which had been around since its founding in 1893, and the newly formed Communist-led Conference of Studio Unions, the CSU. And it was during this time that Ronald Reagan realized the Marxists had designs for America. This was the transformational moment for Reagan, where he morphed from bleeding heart liberal to conservative. He experienced firsthand that the anti-fascists were the fascists. Sound familiar? Please wake up to this, my dear friends. Wake up to this. No matter what side of the party, political parties you fall on, wake up to this historical fact. They would not accept any thought unless it would further their agenda. Sound familiar? Radicals today calling themselves Antifa. They're the fascists. It's a joke. The hypocrisy is absurd. And we should call them pro-fasci. That's right, pro-fasci, not Antifa. We don't know how to capture the language. The left in America does beautifully. I commend them. Congratulations, gentlemen. But the right has no clue. They struggle. They try. They gulp. They gasp for air. They gasp for the air of communications, but they don't know how to capture the youth. I want to capture the youth. I want to capture the independence. Yeah, I have a point of view. So what? It's a strong point of view, but it's backed up with fact, and it's backed up with what will happen to this country. You know, you hear so many times Venezuela and Cuba and other Marxist countries that it doesn't work. But you have the left in Hollywood that argues against that. Why? Are they waiting for their next plane? Why? Have they been bought as useful idiots? Or is the guilt that we heard about from Sterling Hayden because he was making so much money? He felt guilty and he wanted to do something. But that's out of Sterling Hayden. That's the mindset. That's the mindset. You see, the communists spoon-feed Hollywood stars. And they fed them back then, and they ate it up. Despite seeing the reign of Joseph Stalin, the reign of death, that forced famine, and mass executions, the Hollywood elite turned a blind eye to the truth. And in 1946, at a woman named Ida Lupino, there was a meeting at her house. She wasn't a communist, but lent her home for a meeting of Hollywood elites. And these elites were used by the left, as they are today. And the actor William Holden told Reagan about this meeting. He was in the Film Network decades ago, but you should see the Film Network, please. So William Holden tells Ronald Reagan, now imagine, I wish Reagan was alive today. I wish he was alive today. California needs a Ronald Reagan, and it's either John Cox or Larry Elder. Now imagine Reagan sitting there, listening to leftist speakers spew their propaganda, knowing what they were really after. See, Reagan found out. Several times during the evening, Reagan, the young lion, he wanted to pounce, speak truth to the crowd, but he was held in abeyance by Holden. Think of that, who waited for the right moment. Finally, Holden said, go. Reagan leapt to his feet, began speaking. The fascist left shouted him down, and it was actor John Garfield who said, let him speak. He deserves to be heard. And Reagan continued to speak while Garfield was taken to the back, berated by Howard Da Silva. It was here and other similar meetings where Sterling Hayden saw the power of Ronald Reagan. To understand what we're seeing today, we must understand that Reagan faced down the same radical, violent radical 70 years ago. The difference is Reagan went into the belly of the beast. And there is no one today who will challenge the Hollywood elite, because to do so, you must be more adept and well-versed than they are. And then there's the fear of intimidation, threats, loss of livelihood, or even life. Oh, there were threats to Reagan's life back then. He was provided with security. Do you realize, just as today, the Marxists use coercion, blackmail, violence, racism, and lies to bring Hollywood elites to their knees? The difference is Reagan refused to kneel. Do you understand? Not like LeBron James. Reagan refused to kneel. And most of Hollywood hated him for it. Today, we do not have someone with Reagan's understanding of cultural Marxism. Now, I wrote this several years ago. And now we have people writing books about American Marxism. Never-Trumpers who have seen the light. Congratulations, Mark Levin. You've seen the light, but I've written about this for decades. No one listened, because I'm an actor. I don't know anything. You know, like Ronald Reagan was. Yeah, maybe I could surprise a lot of people out there. Maybe I'm the lion you need. Ever think about that? We need lions. We don't need the Mitch McConnells and the dead corpses that are in our government today. Reagan refused to kneel, and most of Hollywood hated him for it. The cultural Marxist leftists from the Washington swamp, academia, mainstream media, back in him.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Columbo's, since 1954, has been serving up fine dining in a relaxing atmosphere, and all at an affordable price. Columbo's is still doing something right. It's why so many travel from the West Side and the Valleys to experience and enjoy what Eagle Rock is known for years. Columbo's is truly something special. Columbo's serves up some of the most succulent, delicious steaks, as well as outstanding seafood offerings in all of Southern California. And the Columbo family's Italian specialties are worth the trip from anywhere. Columbo's is a memory maker. Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock, 323-254-9138. 323-254-9138. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, serving up fine dining in a relaxing atmosphere and all at an affordable price. Columbo's, of course.
Now it's time for MedVed's Entertainment Minute.
Matt Damon plays an unemployed oil rig worker from Oklahoma who spends an entire very long movie living in Marseille trying to free his daughter from a French prison where she's serving time on a murder conviction. Very obviously based on the Amanda Knox story from a couple of years ago, the name of this film is Stillwater, now playing in theaters around the world.
She met this girl, Lena. One night she found Lena dead and called the police.
And everybody thinks that I killed her.
The best part of Stillwater is Matt Damon's accomplished performance, portraying the kind of working-class middle American who's often held in contempt both at home and abroad. But this attempt by Spotlight director Tom McCarthy to spend nearly 2.5 hours battling with the question, who done it, ultimately leaves you with the question, who cares? The clumsy script will leave most viewers frustrated by a big reveal that's not just inconclusive, it's impenetrable. 2 stars for the well-acted but disappointing Stillwater.
Robert Davi.
Another $80 million write-off.
I guess it's time to start cutting overhead. So, getting back to what Ronald Reagan was able to do, because he refused to kneel to the left in Hollywood. So, what we do not know, and most do not know what it is, the cultural agenda. The Marxist leftists from the Washington swamp, academia, and the mainstream media, slowly transforming Western civilization into a culture and economic Marxist nightmare. Okay? I was the first. Mark Levin, who I like, takes credit for a lot of stuff, but Mark, I was there first. I'm sorry, my dear friend. I'm not as well known for this as Mark. But, I believe, and a lot of my education, and I have to give it to David Horowitz. David Horowitz, from the Freedom Center, one of the major conservative thinkers, who wrote a book called Radical Son, who, like Reagan in a certain way, David Horowitz wasn't just a bleeding heart liberal, he was a communist. And he saw what they were doing. And he traverses this journey in Radical Son. So I give a nod, more than a nod, to him and to Michael Savage. Guys that have been, not just a never-Trumper. I have a problem with that Mark Levin was a never-Trumper, and it's never brought up. And I understand his importance to the movement today. I understand that, Mark. But you were a never-Trumper. God bless you. You've seen the light. So give some of us, those out there, who are the Paul Reveres. I know he makes reference to that. But I thought of myself as a Paul Revere, my dear friends. Check my writings out on Breitbart. You'll see. We are witnessing the relentless attack on every institution of Western culture. Please, schools, literature, art, film, Judeo-Christian worldview, every tradition, marriage, the nuclear family, sexual mores, national sovereignty, more. And what we are experiencing today has been in the work for decades. And the Republican Party let it happen. Those pigs, kindly, gentle nation, those pigs. They're worse than the left because they fooled you. The GOP fooled you. Do you understand? They took advantage of you. Wake up, whoever you are out there. The Republican Party fooled you. I don't blame the left because that's what their ideology is, or the extreme left. I congratulate them. I give them kudos. The GOP, who should have been harbingers for America, We're complacent. Where are the elected Republicans speaking boldly, framing the argument against the current Marxist takeover? Where are they? You have just a few that attempt it as best they can, and I see the pain in their souls. I see the pain in their souls because, just like Hollywood, D.C. swamp, there must be ostracism. There are things that people probably threaten them with. There are radio, TV pundits with podcasts up the kazoo. But they're not moving the needle, not like Ronald Reagan was able to. The left is winning the cultural war because they'll lie, steal, cheat, steal to get what they want. Yes, we had Trump. But he doesn't... I wrote an article the day he won about Reagan's informed patriotism. And for whoever it was, whatever reason, the people around Donald Trump, the insulated few, people that can look him in the eye and say, Mr. Trump, God bless you, President Trump, I disagree vehemently with you, and here's what I think you should concentrate on and focus on, because it's crucial to save America. People are afraid to speak up. I'm not afraid. Because if he explained the way Reagan did about the Marxist threat facing our nation, because the GOP is impotent. But you see, I can't blame it because he was, you know what? He was dodging bullets. He was dodging bombs the whole time. Still is. Walking through minefields. So I can't really blame it. You know, I mean, maybe that's what happened. The biggest challenge to America was spelled out in Reagan's farewell address, an informed patriotism. Now, I have children spanning decades. I've got 8, 2 stepchildren, 6 of my own. I have seen firsthand how education and culture have been hijacked. My children have come home with textbooks that were bleached by the radical left, Bill Ayer's contingent in education. America is under siege. Forces at play in society, government, popular culture, foreign, domestic. They're dismantling our foundation. I will talk about this till I'm blue in the face. The foundation of a nation is built on its past. And we are seeing the deliberate, subversive overthrow of our country. And there are far too few voices speaking to the American people about this and the dangers we face. The destruction of our history must stop. The overthrow of local governments must stop. And we have a government full of radical, a Congress full of radical subversives, and those like Schumer who have their head up the culos of these people because they're afraid of getting challenged. We have a media industrial complex that's the propaganda arm of the progressive Marxist left. We know that. It's fake news. It's not fake news. It's a propaganda arm of the progressive Marxist left and the Democratic Party. And we have a weak opposition party in the GOP. Weaklings whose blood has been drained and replaced with jello. That's right. The GOP whose blood has been drained and replaced with jello. We can no longer stand by and let the pieces fall where they may. Wake up. Vote Newsom out. Start in California. The ripple starts here, from the West. Don't let Silicon Valley and Hollywood affect you and your children, because they got their wealth. They've got their private jets, their planes, their influence. And yours is just going to continue to be diminished. We need someone to speak to America like Reagan did. And we got to get the GOP out of the way or start speaking up. They have let this nation down by letting Pelosi and her gang define this moment. Ronald Reagan didn't take a knee. And neither will I. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I want you to send this podcast to every single one of your friends. This could be one of the most important podcasts that they listen to. I have framed. It's for you. I wish I was clueless. I wish I was a stuffed hollow man. I can't stop. My wife and children get upset because they don't want, they understand the danger. I can't help it. We're all put on this earth for a reason. And then, when you get another chance at it, you have to define why you're here. Now, when I was 16, I was dying. And friends of my family knew Padre Pio, the Saint Padre Pio, from San Giovanni Rotondo in Foggia, Italy. He was born in Petrocino in Italy, Foggia. And I asked them to please get in touch with Padre Pio for me. And they did, and they sent me rosary beads in the hospital. And I prayed on them as my mother did, dreamt up Padre Pio's Mass. Now, he had the stigmata of Christ. And a week later, the doctor said to my mother, after me being in the hospital for 2.5 months or so, Mary, only a miracle, I would have told you only a miracle a week ago could do this. I believe it. And he's been attributed to many miracles, St. Peter. Oddly enough, the great director, Abel Ferrara, may be doing a movie about Padre Pio. They're talking about Shia LaBeouf to play him. It'll be so interesting. Anyway, it's up to you. It's up to us. Be cautious. Be prudent. I'm for liberty and freedom, but I'm also for protection. I'm also for protecting my family, myself. God bless all of you. And stop at your favorite fast food place or even an ice cream store. I love mint chip ice cream, Sometimes I'll have a nice mint chip on a hot day. There's nothing like having that, I'll go to Baskin & Robbins. Now, my wife loves Cold Stone. She loves the Cold Stone. What does she get? She gets banana cheesecake. It was my thing, my invention, banana cheesecake with coconut and chocolate shavings mixed in. That's a delicious little thing. Anyway, just to sweeten the day up. God bless you all.
Are you tired of your favorite talk show sounding like this? What if you could hear your favorite talk shows in crystal clear, high-definition sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio, 7 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in true CRN high-definition audio. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Michael Medved, Tom Hartman, Stephanie Miller, Larry Elder, Sebastian Gorka, Charlie Kirk, and more. Fred Dreyer on sports, entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Lounge, The What's Cooking Show, The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN high-definition audio. Sports, business, entertainment, travel, food, wine, politics, there's something for everyone on CRN, and it's all available in CRN high-definition sound. Log in to crntalk.com for listings and information. crntalk.com.
The radio channels. The radio channels. CRN.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott.